Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Wednesday night in which the Los Angeles Lakers lost once again to the Sacramento Kings. This time 120 to 107 road game in Sacramento, man, in which very, very winnable game, despite the final score being a 13-point loss. Because our stars did not show up tonight. The stars didn't show up tonight. Brown and AD, too little, too late. Didn't show up. The role players kind of did their best to kind of keep us in the game as far as role players. I mean, basically, Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. D'Lo had a terrible game too, but he's a role player. That's going to happen. But our stars have to show up for us to compete and win basketball games. Now, I was talking about this being a must win. And at the very least, a must compete. And the Lakers didn't check either one of those boxes. Neither one. So as a result of that, we get another L to the Sacramento Kings. We are now 0-4 against them. Anthony Davis is now 0-10 against Sabonis. That narrative is going to thrive, and that's AD's own fault. He had every chance in the world to go in there and slay and silence that narrative, and he did not. That's on him. He's got to live with it now. He's got to live with that until they face them again. He's got to take that. He does. Can't escape that. Can't defend you, AD. We can't defend you if you're just going to not continue to show up in these games when they matter, during possessions that matter, starting the game. You get just disinterested in physical contact in these games. And I can understand if you're going out there against Embiid or Joker, because there's debates of whether you're better than those two or not. You're not better than Joker. That's a fact. A lot of people wouldn't have you better than Embiid. But if it was those two that was taking your lunch money, then we're like, okay, we get it. Those dudes is bad. We get it. But the dudes you've let take your lunch money over the last month, it's just you. I don't know if it's him trying to avoid injury, trying to get into the game count, trying to win these. I don't know what's going on. You got your extension. I don't know if you're just trying to avoid the street clothes, trying to not get hurt out there. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pretend I do. But all I know is AD has zero interest in contact right now. None. Absolutely none. Now, that play where Sabonis caught him with the elbow, that was unintentional. He didn't intentionally hurt him. But I don't care if it's unintentional. A man's elbow hits me in the face and he don't at least like, oh, my bad. Like to at least, then he's trying to punk you. Colliding with you at half court, knocking you down. And you're looking at the referee for help as opposed to going and returning the punishment to the guy who did it to you. Little less Anthony Davis, a little more Draymond Green right there. Because the Golden State Warriors beat them in a 7-game series when the Kings had home court advantage. And I know Steph Curry went ballistic in game 7, but Draymond Green muffed that series up. And we just don't have a guy to do that. Vando's our guy who does it defensively. He gets out there, creates havoc, causes confusion on the other team on the defensive side, creates things, makes things happen. But he don't muck things up physically. He's not a bowling ball that knocks these dudes over like pins. He's not getting under people's skin. The Lakers don't have a dog out there right now. LeBron's 39, doesn't appear to be healthy. AD doesn't want physical contact. Austin Reeves had like 13 points in like 3 minutes, 15 points the rest of the game. Great game, 28 points. But if you would have told me this morning, if you would have told me this morning, my phone rang and it was future Jeff calling present Jeff. And he told, Austin Reeves basically scored the same points of De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk combined. I'm like, we got the win. For sure, I'd be like, we got the win. But we didn't. We didn't get the win. Because our stars didn't come to play, y'all. Our stars didn't come to play. And I know I haven't even read a single comment yet. Haven't looked at the Twitter timeline. I've seen what people have responded to me, what I put. But I'm pretty sure that Darvin's getting the blame tonight. I'm pretty sure that's the normal. Blame Darvin for everything. Darvin's been involved in only 2 seasons of AD and Sabonis' record, but I'm sure Darvin is blamed from the OKC years when he was on OKC too, because it's just so comfortable and easy to blame Darvin for everything, right? So I'm sure that's in the chat already. Haven't looked yet. I'm sure it's all over Twitter. Haven't looked at that yet either. But if you watched this basketball game from the first second to the last second, and you're walking away from this purely blaming Darvin Ham, I just don't know what to say to. I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to you. Like, I don't, because there's so many other issues here. Does he have a role? Does he play his part? Does he share the blame? Yes, yes, yes. But putting this loss all on Darvin, that's wild. That's wild. We cannot win basketball games if our stars do not show up. We cannot win basketball games if our stars don't show up. We just can't. We can't have it if Anthony Davis is not dominating on defense. Doesn't even have to be dominant on offense. Just get your averages, Playboy. Just get your averages, and we'll be okay in these games. But the elephant in the room is LeBron just doesn't want to play defense. Maybe he can't play defense. Again, he's 39, man. He's got a lot of miles. But that's the problem. That's the problem. And see, what happens is, let me guess some other. We need another big, right? That's going to be in here somewhere, or all over in here, right? The problem with that is you can't be paying LeBron James $50 million a year. You're paying AD almost $50 million a year. And you've got all these wings to go guard these other teams who are packed with wings. You don't have the money for a big that can help you. We just don't have it. You can't solve every problem. That's what salary caps are for. You can't just solve all these problems. You have to pick your poison. And the funny thing is, when you talk about Denver, you talk about Sacramento, or you talk about these guys, they don't have a second big. Like, they don't have like a center big playing next to these dudes. Sabonis is the center. Is Harrison Barnes playing power forward? Like, that's no excuse. Sabonis is the type of big that AD should dominate. He handles the ball in the pinch or high post, dribble handoffs, doesn't shoot a ton of jumpers. AD should be able to mop the floor with this guy. That's on AD. That is on AD. You don't need to have a second center to beat Sabonis. That's what you're paying AD for. Now, if AD doesn't want to play physical, because guess what? If AD was the power forward out there tonight, like, who's guarding Sabonis then? Hayes? Hayes? Christian Wood is not even out there. You want him guarding him? They don't have anything to guard him with other than AD. That's the design of the league. Teams don't have 4 or 5 big dudes anymore. But it's frustrating. I totally get it. Like, I totally get it. Like, we have a big that we want to see do well. We have a big who's uber talented, uber skilled, but disappears in these moments, right? Against these physical guys. Euro or not, because he had these moments even against Xavier Tillman when he was just mopping up all those offensive rebounds in last year's playoffs. Like, he's had these moments against just, it's really any aggressive big. And granted, the Euro guys are usually aggressive. But there's no way that if AD wants this and takes it personal, that this happens. He just isn't taking it personal. And that third quarter, y'all, was just that third quarter. You know what? You know what? The Lakers are going to get the Clipper toilet right now for that third quarter.
Damn.
The Lakers are getting the Clipper toilet for that third quarter because the start of that third quarter, for those who don't remember, LeBron comes out, gets a turnover, loses the ball, then tries to tap it across the court into a wide open passing lane that would lead to a break. Doesn't even run back to attempt to chase down block. He gives up a little inside of half court. Then he comes down on the very next possession and throws up a ridiculous three. And just like that, back-to-back, boom, 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 on a run, the game's over at that point, basically. Because I said at halftime over on playback, I was like, you know, this just feels like the Kings are just one run away from just taking this game away from us. They hadn't had a run all game. They're one run away from just taking this game from us. It just felt that way. Because even though the Lakers, I believe, were down 4 at halftime, it felt like we were down 20. There was no confidence in the team at that point. Because you just had Austin going. You just had Rui going. They were hitting us with that zone knocks nonstop, pack in the middle to keep Bron and AD out of there. And the Lakers found a way into that zone. They had the ball to Bron. He would swing it to AD. He would swing it back to Bron or directly to Austin. Austin would penetrate into the center of the defense in the zone. They would collapse. He'd swing it to Rui, who'd get a wide open look for a jump shot or a floater or get all the way to the rim. So we had ways to penetrate the zone. We did. That's how Rui literally got all of his points. And Austin was literally shooting him out of it. But again, the others came to play. The ones didn't. The guys we pay those big dollars for, so we don't get swept by the Sacramento Kings, didn't come to play tonight. So we could sit up here and spin this every which way they want. And that's fine. That's the beautiful thing about this game of basketball is everyone sees it kind of a little bit different. Like basketball is like food. Everyone has their flavor. Everyone has what they like and don't like. There almost really is no right or wrong. It's just how you see it in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases. Like if someone says, dude, average 30 when he averaged 23, okay, that's just wrong, right? That's just bad information. But a lot of it's just how you view the game and your style and how you see it and how you, and it basically is what it is. Because for most of these like complaints or most of these like issues I see that people have with the Lakers, including myself, there's a counter to them. There's a counter to them by everyone else who has a different view of the game. So like for anyone who's going to sit back and say, well, Darvin, why doesn't Darvin call timeouts? Because I'm going to challenge and say to do what? Shout out Lebron because he's been saying this and he coaches professionally. This is what he does for a living. Like I coached for over 10 years. I kind of had the same response he did, which was call a timeout for what? You have no solution. Okay, to stop momentum. Every timeout that Darvin called, Sacramento came out and got a score. So what did that timeout accomplish? It doesn't accomplish anything. Because the team's just going to go out there and do what they got to do. Now, I personally believe that calling a timeout just to say you called a timeout is just as bad as not calling a timeout when you need a timeout. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to call a timeout when you don't have anything, when you can't fix anything. You can't fix anything. So like every timeout they come out, they don't run a. I've seen them come out of timeouts. I see how you do this. See what happens is when you watch teams, and the untrained eye won't catch this, and that's okay. When you watch them come out of a timeout, watch the role players. Because those are the guys who know they're not getting the ball initially, or if they do, it's to hold it to the star player or the number one option comes to get it. And then they go about whatever play was designed. They go into their motion. their rotation. And you'll see a star breaker play. And sometimes that's good because it's kind of like an audible. They see something and they're like, no, it's busted. Let's improvise. And that's great when that happens. But I've seen the Lakers come out of timeout and I've seen the role players make their cuts and just go away from it. Like, and then Bron or AD just go away from it. How many times did we see tonight where Bron and AD were going to the same side of the floor? AD was coming up like they were going to run the two-man game. And I saw LeBron 2 times wave him off to go away. And then I had times where AD would come up, basically set us soft, like he's going to stay there and then just get out of there. So they're just not running it. And the players are on the same side of the floor. That's on the players. And it's okay if you guys don't like Darvin Ham. I've specifically said at this point, I just wish that he'd be gone just to eliminate the excuse. I don't think there's any coming back from it for him. So at this point, there's no point in keeping him. Now, they're not going to fire him yet. But at this point, I just prefer they did. So then people would actually have to watch every aspect of the game. You get what I'm saying? Because if Darvin left today, this team still has problems, y'all. They still do. Is he part of the problem? Yeah. But is he the only problem? No. He's just not. LeBron and AD's performance tonight is not on Darvin Ham. He's just not. Missed layups, countless missed layups by Bron and AD tonight. That's not on Darvin Ham, y'all. AD not in the right position to get an offensive rebound or defensive rebound is not on Darvin Ham. LeBron James missing defensive assignments. D'Angelo Russell being careless with the basketball. All of these things, those are on the players. And that's been my point. That's just been my point. It's totally, I mean, everyone is free to see the game how they choose to see it. They're free to enjoy or be frustrated with this game that we love so much to their heart's content. It's perfectly fine. But when I sit up here and watch these games, I just think it's impossible to walk away from this game and see Darvin Ham as the only problem. That's just my opinion. Respect everyone's opinions. That's just mine. And pretty much everyone that I talk to that covers basketball, works in basketball, gets paid via basketball for a living, says the same thing. But that's just their opinions too. You get what I'm saying? So my thing is, you know me, I'm frustrated with this loss, but I'm not going to go crazy because I told you guys before this game even happened, I still didn't trust this team. I have endless trust issues with this team. And shout out to Dan. Shout out my brother Dan. Dan, the Laker fan, DTLF. Yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I'm losing track of days here. I think it might have been 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. On his show, he did a Q&A and had me on. Shout out to him for that. Thank you for that. And he asked, like, where am I at with the Lakers? Am I buying it? Like, am I believing in them again? Where am I at? And I'm like, I want to, but I can't do it unless they win on Wednesday, because I struggle with every time this team looks like they're about to turn a corner. Every time this team looks like they're coming out of it. Every time this team feels like they're making progress, they just do something to take 5, 6, 7 steps back. And that's why they're really hard to trust. It's really hard to trust a team that doesn't appear to show up when you need them to show up. Like, they make the reservation and they just don't show up. They just don't show up. Like tonight, there was no reason for Anthony Davis and LeBron James to make the trip today. They were on PTO, yo. Prepare the others. Prepare the others. Because Austin and Rui were prepared. They prepared them. So that's why we knew they were on PTO, because the others were prepared. Outside of D'Lo. Because Bron and AD, that was just a horrific performance by them tonight. Just horrific. And again, I understand I understand Bron's age. I understand the mileage. I understand AD is known to be brittle. Maybe he's protecting his limbs, trying to get to the postseason. I understand all that. I totally do. But we can't use the excuse of a man's age and miles when he's getting paid like a prime superstar, because we can't put that money anywhere else. And he wants more. He wants an extension or a new deal, 2-3 more years. So this is what I'm saying. We can't pay him this type of money because we can't win with him being our top paid player anymore. That's no shade. He's 39. He we can't expect him to be 35-year-old LeBron every night, let alone 39. Because that would be unfair. But at the end of the day, when a guy is making $50 million, when you're getting paid to perform, you got to perform. We can do all the 39 years old examples and excuses we want. But if you're going to take the check, you got to play like a $50 million player. If not, be a $25 million player. Be a $15 million player. And let us go get a true number one, because AD is not a true number one. AD is not a true number one. And at this point, Bron isn't either. Now, Bron is our number one because we don't have one. But in a perfect world, and I don't believe this will ever happen, but in a perfect world, we'd have a number one, AD would be our number two, and Bron would be our number three. And at times he can turn it up and play like a number one. But that one and that two would buy him time, save him energy, save him responsibility, and save him some wear and tear on that body. But in order to get another number one, we can't pay him $50, $60 million. It just doesn't work. But if he's unwilling to take less than that, then what do you do? And that's what I'm trying to say. The elephant in the room here is not solely Darvin Ham. It's not solely AD's record against Sabonis. The elephant in the room is our best player cannot be our best player night in and night out. And it's not his fault physically, but it is his fault if he commands that money financially to not allow us to go get a true number one. Well, again, just my opinion. Just my opinion. Everybody has one, right? That's just mine. But that's what makes it frustrating, is because when we sit back and we watch and we look at this, I'm unsure of where the end is in this. Because if they do extend him and keep him and do right by him, like, this team is just going to be what this team is. They're going to continue to be a team that struggles during the regular season, may be able to take it up a notch in the playoffs to get a round or two. But this is why I've continued to say, and I will continue to say, that this is not a championship team. It's just not. This is not a contending team. Again, my opinion. But nothing I've seen from this team has led me to believe that they're a championship contending team. Shout out to everyone over on Twitter. Again, you guys have been showing heavy love on the channel the last couple of nights. Shout out to you guys for pulling up. Shout out to everyone on YouTube as well. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Appreciate everyone who pulled up on playback.tv/EmpireJeffTV tonight to catch the game. Shout out to Search, man. I see you in here working as the moderator. Worked on the moderation earlier on Playback. Shout out to you, brother. I greatly appreciate you. I'm going to do my best to get to some of these chats in a minute, but I'm just rocking off the top of the head right now with some of these issues here. And before, like, the Bron, the Bron patrol comes after me, like I said, I'm a fan of LeBron James. I love that he's a Laker. I hope he remains a Laker. I wish he was a Laker earlier than he was. I hope he retires a Laker. I hope he leads us to another championship. I hope all these things. I'm not a Bron hater. I'm a Laker fan. I want our future to be bright. I'm not one of these guys that don't want LeBron to get a fifth ring because it matches Kobe. I want him to get a fifth ring as a Laker. I want it. I want that to happen. But we live in a world as Laker fans where if you want the Lakers to win with LeBron James as their best player and Darvin Ham as their coach, there's like a civil war within that, and it's just wild. You know what I mean? I want the Lakers to do well. Point blank, period. If LeBron benefits from that, cool. Cool. I don't want LeBron to leave, but I don't want to keep paying this guy $50, $60 million. Now, he's going to have another game in a couple days or so where he goes and gets 30 or 40, and everybody's going to be, and it's going to be great again, but it's just not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. And the guy can't guard anybody. So it's just, he can guard like Kawhi. He can guard some of the, as Kawhi has aged now, and his injuries have piled up, and now his miles are piling up. Now LeBron is like, aha, now I can guard you. Right now he gives him trouble, which is great because we may have to face them. We may have to face them. And so Bron can guard Kawhi now. That's a fact. But there's a lot of guys he can't guard no more. And again, not his fault. But when you're getting turnovers and not even making an effort to get back as the leader, how are you expecting your other guys to do that? Like how can you even call out AD for his effort and performance when he had that type of performance tonight? Shout out to LeBron for that one play, though. I will say this. The one play where he finally had enough and he ran up to Sabonis and tied him up for that jump ball and won the jump ball. LeBron had enough of watching him just bully AD and AD showing no resistance. I'm disappointed in AD, y'all. I'm disappointed. I love AD. He's having a fantastic season. Career high in points in the paint. I think 4th overall in the league. So he's playing in the paint heavy this year. Having a phenomenal season. Played in most of the games. If the Lakers' record was better, he'd be an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. All these conversations, he'd be in all of them. Monster year. But this man just refuses to show up when it matters against the guys who give him the most trouble. All we asking for you is have some pride out here, AD. Get out there and just give 110% against this guy. Now I know that there's a lot of other things he's worrying about out there with the guards getting into the paint at will, getting in and kicking out the corner threes. He's chasing out having to close out on shooters, then trying to have to get back to get a rebound, then dealing with the physical play. I understand he's taxed. I understand this. I understand that he's nowhere near as agile as he was when he was a Pelican or his first 2 years as a Laker. I understand all this. What I don't understand is not giving the effort. That's what I don't understand. But AD just doesn't. AD is more Pau Gasol than KG. He's better than Pau. He's more skilled than KG, in my opinion. But what separated KG was that dog in him. Even though it was borderline fake tough guy. And he taught that to Perkins and he taught all that. But he got out there and he cared. He wore those losses. He hated people. There was nothing. KG was not soft. Now he ran his mouth. He talks all kind of crazy stuff. But he got on the court. He backed it up. He got buckets. He played defense. He got rebounds. He got blocks. AD has all that skill and more. And just disappears in the moment. Consistently. And I just don't see like anywhere that can fix that this season. Like I don't see it. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm tripping. I just don't see where that can be fixed this season. You have a backcourt that can't guard nobody. You have a big who doesn't want to play physical. You don't have the money to go get a big that can do what you need next to him. You don't have the money without sacrificing your wing and guard depth that you actually need to beat the other teams. That's why there is no perfect roster. Look at the Celtics. Starting lineup, great. But then it falls off a cliff after about 6 or 7 guys. An injury or so, and they're in trouble. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Dame Lillard, Giannis, Brook Lopez. But they can't guard nobody. You look at the Clippers, and from December to like the end of February, playing like beasts, but can't stay healthy, physically and mentally. Now look at the Warriors. They got games where they shoot the lights out of the building, just don't miss. And they got games where they just get destroyed. And can they stay mentally and physically healthy? Dallas, Kyrie, Luka, got Gafford, got PJ Washington at the trade deadline. Bad fits, unorthodox. Can't seem to win games in stretches. So like every team has their issues because there is no perfect roster. Even Denver's roster is not perfect. They just have a perfect roster to face us. But their roster isn't perfect. Phoenix Suns roster, they got Kevin Durant. They got Bradley Beal. They got Devin Booker. Their roster is not perfect. There is no perfect roster. And it's a different league. So every team has issues. Every single team. That's no different from the Lakers. So many teams hate their coaches. No, that's not any different from the Lakers. So many teams think their coaches play favorites, not just the Lakers. So many teams think their teams have bad rotations, not just the Lakers. So many teams think their coaches play too many small guys, not just the Lakers. This is the way the league plays now. It's just the way the league plays now. I don't like it. I don't like seeing the league play this way. I don't like the style of play. I like watching defense. At least I used to. But it's just not existent now. Now, the league is talking about changing that, implementing some things, making the game more competitive, perhaps bringing back hand check, making the game a little bit more physical. But the problem is you have a whole generation of players who grew up thinking they never had to play defense and never worked on it. So you got guys able to make it in the league just by working on one side of the ball. Now, dudes who are halfway or further on into their career, now you tell them they got to switch it up and learn defense. What about these kids who have been coming up in AAU in college that weren't even looking to play that type of ball? It's going to be a culture shock, but they got to do it. They definitely got to do it. But it's this team will continue. I continue to have trust issues with them. I will continue to have trust issues with them. I wish I didn't. I wish the season was funner. I wish these games were enjoyable. I wish we were sitting here excited about a playoff run. I wish we were sitting here as the first, second, or third seed in the Western Conference, just chomping at the bit to get to the playoffs. Just excited, man. Making travel plans, trying to see what city I'm gonna go to, catch a road game. Like I would love to have that energy. I miss it. Definitely miss it. But it's just not that easy. Because every time we try to get to a point where we get somewhat excited about this basketball team, every time we start to think that we can trust the Los Angeles Lakers again, they ghost us. They ghost us. The team that we thought was turning a corner, a team that we thought they were becoming, they ghost us. And they go back to being the team they've been all season, which is inconsistent. That's what they've been all season. Unfortunately, that's probably what they're going to be all season. And even if they do go on some type of run similar to last year, I still don't have them as a contender. This team is not last year's team. Last year's team, oddly enough, I wasn't overly concerned with because I knew Russell was going to get traded eventually. I liked the pieces we got. We went on our run. We were playing the right way going into the playoffs. We had the best defense in the league since the trade deadline. We're nowhere near that now. This team is not last year's team. Last year's overachieving excitement is gone. This is an underachieving team. Complete underachieving team. I said, I love the Lakers, man. I have great Laker pride. But sometimes it just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. This team ain't got it. This team ain't got it. I hate to say it. Breaks my heart to say it, but this team ain't got it. I've known that for a while. I've talked about it with you guys for a while. We've talked about it for a while. On this platform and many others. Talked about it for a while. And I hate having to have that conversation. I hate not being excited. I hate going into games feeling like the team is going to lose. It's just not ideal. It's just not what being a Laker fan is about. Fundamentally. Now, I understand from 2013 on, we've had a lot of those. 2020 was a godsend. 2021 was solid until injuries. But ever since then, outside of last year's run to get to the Western Conference Finals, outside of that, this team has just been a disaster. It's been really hard to root for. It's been really hard to defend. And it's been really hard to get any type of rhythm of good basketball. So in a game like tonight, where the Kings are just reminding us on literally possession after possession that they're better than us. They shot 46% from three. Look, Lakers shot again 44% from three and lost. The Lakers shot 48% from the field. Kings 52. 14 turnovers, not ideal, but not the worst. Kings had 12. Second chance points, fast break points, timely threes, timely rebounds. Same story, different night for the Lakers. Now, I pray to the basketball gods that Gabe, Vando can return and help this team. Because I showed you guys last night when I threw up the graph, when Vando was on the floor, his impact on winning. I just don't know what version we're going to get from him because he's been out a while. He already missed 2 months earlier. Then he comes back, finally gets in a rhythm, and then he's out. So I don't know what version of him we're getting and how effective he's going to be, and is he going to last? Same with Gabe. So it wouldn't be ideal to just think that them coming back is saving our season. That wouldn't be ideal. It wouldn't. Wishful, yeah. And I'm definitely hoping for that. But it's just not. It's just to sit here and put and hang your hat on that and set your clock to that and think you can go to sleep tomorrow and wake up and those two guys are back and all problems are solved. They're not. I'm sorry I haven't got to the chat yet. I'm just on a roll right now. I apologize, guys. Every once in a while, there's shows like this. Majority of the time, I check in with y'all. Right now, I'm just going. Like, we can't even get Christian Wood back on the court. Like, we didn't have our three best perimeter defenders tonight and our second primary big. So it's tough to get wins against good teams like that. So that's built in. That's already there. And I'm fine with that being an obvious concern, even almost an explanation. But Bron and AD can't come out like this, y'all. They just can't come out like this. When we have to win games on a night where the Warriors lost, where the Pelicans lost, where if we beat the Kings, that would have been a game on them. Like, we can't have them just mailing in losses like this. We gave away too many free losses in the beginning of the season. Too many free losses in the beginning of the season. Way too many. We can't be giving away free losses now. We can't do that. We don't gave away so many free losses that we can't give away anymore. We can't give away anymore. We've given away too many free losses. And the Laker community is frustrated. Laker fans, Laker content creators, Lakers Twitter, everything Lakers is frustrating. They're frustrated because this team is frustrating. And this team is hard to trust. This is why I have trust issues with this basketball team. This is why I will continue to have trust issues with this basketball team. And this is why I probably will not fully trust this team this season. And I don't know what they can do to regain that trust as this roster is currently constructed. The AD Braun era is going to be hard to trust when they show up for games like tonight, like this. And why I haven't read the full report yet. I was busy all day. I got home. I went straight into some baseball talk and then straight into the game. I haven't done my full homework on that. So, but just the simple fact that that report came out today, that's bad. That's bad. I can't even tell you people's reaction to it because I really didn't see it. Like I had some people hit me up, but I'm willing to bet that people were probably happy that that came out because they blamed Darvin, not realizing the damage that does to the team. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'm not fully informed. Just going with what's been consistent. But no matter how you slice it, that's bad. That report coming out today was bad. That's bad for this team. One of the worst things that you could have hoped for coming out in a time like this. When you're starting to play well, things are doing well, you're feeling good about yourself, chemistry appears to be good. Darvin had even seemed to be improving, as crazy as that sounds. A report like this is just damning, y'all. Damning. You can't have a report like that come out at this point of the season when you're hanging on by a thread, man. Now, I don't know when that. Again, I'm not. I got to do my homework on that. Maybe talking out of school here a little bit. I gotta do my homework on that because I've been busy, man. There was a lot of money to be made today. I was out there trying to get it. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, when that got done, I came home, covered baseball, did my thing with the Lakers. Like I said, man, I've been working since 6 a.m. this morning, man. Still going. You feel me? So I didn't have too much time to read that report, but I'm gonna check it though. But no matter how you slice it, like I said, it's just bad. And then that team goes out there with this type of performance tonight. A type of the performance tonight after that article gets released, and it's no surprise. It's just bad timing and a bad article. So that's just bad, man. So if you have a situation like that, and the guy who's quoted and comes out as a terrible game, just a bad Laker day. Bad Laker day. Starting, I woke up this morning a little excited about this game. Let's see what these guys are made of. Let's see what they can do. Let's see how they come out and compete. Let's go get this win, yo. Let's go do this. Then I heard about that report dropping. I'm like, this team's cooked. I don't think this team has it in them to navigate through that stuff anymore. I just don't. I think they've just been through it so much. So I just think a lot of these guys are just already 1, 2, 3 Cancun, and they're over it. They're over it. And it felt when you saw that game in Boston, when the others went out there and played with every ounce of energy, pride, and heart that they had, that was kind of a big middle finger to their stars, saying, this ain't us. This ain't on us. Go back and watch that game, y'all. It's kind of what they did in that game. It's kind of what they did. That report comes out. They get waxed. Not a good look. Definitely not a good look. And don't really know what else to say. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. I'm obviously gonna have more to say, but what I'm saying is it's hard to really believe in this team when this team doesn't even believe in this team. So just let that sink in. Because that report don't come out. And then they don't go out there and play together to like shut it down either. But this team's in trouble, y'all. This team's in trouble. Been in trouble. Told y'all I wasn't fully ready to trust them yet. I told y'all that this team has their issues. Not just Darvin, but more. Darvin is an issue. But when we have a must-win game, we can't have our star players come out like this. So I'm obviously not gonna be able to get to every chat because I've been talking for a good almost an hour here. So I'm not gonna be able to get to every chat. But shout out to y'all for pulling up in the building, man. I see y'all in here, man. Search, like I said, appreciate you, bro. Young Africa, I saw you. Daniel Barry, Richard, one Peruvian guy. Chris, what's going on, my brother? Court Kings. Juan, what's going on, man? Delano Hart, thanks for pulling up, man. Craig, what's going on? Jeremy AC, what's going on, man? Dan Inspiration. Lakers Dodgers for life. What's going on, man? Dante, what's good, bro? Brandon, what's going on? Joe Boyd, what's going on, man? Let's see. He went in there. Let's see. Sean Black, what's going on, man? I agree. AD should be ashamed of himself. Tamika, thanks for pulling up again. You've been great all night. Appreciate you, man. Let's see who else we got in here. I'm trying to say Sean Black, shouted you out. Looks like okay. Jamar, what's going on, bro? Thank you for pulling up. Fo Nigel, thank you for pulling up. I appreciate you. Let's see. Roy, thank you for pulling up, sir. Appreciate you, man. Who else we got here? Warren, what's going on, man? Thank you for tuning in. You are appreciated. I think that's just about everybody. Let me see. See, I'm not gonna be able to get to all those comments because it went too far back. I was talking for a bit here. Patrick, what's going on, sir? Thank you for pulling up. I appreciate you. William, what's going on, bro? Thank you for pulling up. Let's see. I believe I got to everyone. Let me just scroll down to the bottom here, and we can start. We can start from here because I'm not gonna go backwards here. So I'll start here. Let's go. We got commenting. Hayes 5 minutes versus Kings. Yeah, he got 5 minutes. It was he got 5. He wasn't terrible those 5 minutes he was out there either. Max got light minutes in the first and then got taken out for making a couple bonehead plays. Didn't really get back in there until it was too late. I would like to have seen him get out there a little bit more. But like I said, they run Harrison Barnes as the power forward. So if you have AD and Hayes out there, he's just going to be living in that corner. So, Katie, what's going on, bro? Thanks for pulling up, man. Hayes versus Wolves, 20 minutes. Yeah, they kind of Naz Reid was killing them out there from the perimeter. They didn't have Rudy. They didn't have Cat. So they were trying to punish him for their lack of bigs. Kind of little different situation here. They also didn't have the speed guards like these Kings teams do. So you can't have two bigs out there. They're going to get cooked, and they're going to be switches on both sides. It makes it tough. Let's see. What was the report that came out? Well, again, I haven't read the whole thing because I was working all day. Then got home, covered baseball, then covered the game. Now I'm doing post game. I literally have been nonstop since 6 a.m. this morning, man. So I just know the report came out basically discussing about how there was a D'Lo piece, essentially saying that he played favorites with Dennis last year and how he never really felt comfortable talking to Darvin while Dennis was on the team because of the trust and connection he already had with Dennis. Again, I have not read the whole article. That's just what was paraphrased when it was mentioned to me. But that's just not a good look to come out now. That came out during the summer, early in the season. Okay, but now that's bad, man. Lakers can't survive and expect to win with the backcourt that can't give any resistance to fast penetrating guards. Yeah, that's true. Brown was helping AD on the paint and has to run to spot up Harrison. AD, I don't know what that is. But that's true. Like it was just an odd day, man, for that to come out. Just really was. So it kind of figured at that point that this team is basically cooked at that point. Reports like this don't come out like from teams that are trying to win a championship. Like it just doesn't happen. You don't see any reports coming out on Denver, right? You don't see any of these reports coming out in Boston. All the issues the Phoenix Suns have had this season, you don't see any reports of this coming out. You got James Harden, Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi, injuries, Tyler Lue, all this stuff with the Clippers. You don't see this coming out. You just don't see it. But it happens with the Lakers. It's wild, man. But this game was very important for us, man. Very important. Every game is important at this point. Must win, must compete. Every single one of these games. Must win, must compete. Can't just drop duds like this, man. Satro, what's good, man? What's good? Jeff got to brush this one off and get some wins. Definitely got to get some wins. This one's going to be tough to brush off, man, because, well, no, it's going to brush it off. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is you brush it off if you take a lesson from it. But this team just doesn't seem to learn lessons. So now I wanted them to get this win so we can have some type of confidence if we match up against the Kings in the playoffs. But I saw nothing from tonight's game to give me confidence that this team's going to beat them in the playoffs. So now I'm looking at this, and I could be wrong, could absolutely be wrong. But now I'm looking at this matchup like I look at Denver. Like they got our number. Because there's basically been no resistance. And our stars just don't deliver against them. So now we have two teams that we have to face that narrative on. Search said, stop stalking me. People stalking Search up in here, man. You good, Search? You good? Don't you know Search is the stalker, man? He searches and destroys you. You cannot search and destroy Search. It don't work that way. You can't search for Search. Search searches for you. I gotta realize this. Search searches for you. It does not go the other way around. He said, stop stalking me. But yeah, guys, it's gonna be tough to have any confidence in this team, y'all. It's tough to have any confidence in this team. It's been hard. Been hard to have confidence in this team. Let alone championship aspirations for this team. I don't see it. I haven't seen it for a while. Been kind of open about that. Kings are 3-1 versus the Nuggets. Does regular season matter? I don't think so. No, they do give the Nuggets problems. They give the Nuggets problems. Minnesota is tough against them. Denver has, Denver has some matchups that don't work great for them. I still think they can beat those teams. But the difference is, okay, Brandon, when you're looking at a 3-1 team versus them, that's 3-1 versus a champion. They've proven to be able to get it done when it matters. They get the benefit of the doubt. This Laker team does not get the benefit of the doubt. The regular season matters when you're a non-champion who can't figure a team out and proves to not be able to make adjustments. It's a difference. The team that won the championship last year has proven they've been able to adjust. These Lakers have not proven that. Their stars have not proven they could take it to the next level all the way since 2020. This franchise looks frustrated when this type of stuff gets aired out. Yeah, because it's tiresome. It's tiresome. Like, why are we even, like, there's no trade deadline. There's nothing. This shouldn't even be talked about, right? It's just stupid. No, I mean, well, yes, Ham as well. But I'm talking about even just adjustments to AD being able to show up in these games. Adjustments to where, Braun attempts to look like he's interested in defense. Those adjustments too. Yeah, at this point in the season, man, they're the 9th seed for a reason. They're 9th seed for a reason. And they've had every opportunity to move up off that. Haven't been able to capitalize. Have not been able to capitalize. They've had multiple opportunities to get out of that spot. Cannot capitalize. So when you cannot capitalize, this is what happens. You end up in a 9th seed. And I'm telling you right now, if the Lakers don't get 6th or 7th, they are in trouble. They're in trouble. They're already in trouble, but 9th or 10th, even 8th is not ideal. 9th or 10th is playing with fire. You know, so imagine we get a game like tonight. Bron and AD don't show up in a 1-game scenario where if you lose, you go home. Let me ask y'all, chat. Let me ask y'all. Do y'all trust the Lakers in a 1-game scenario? Like, do y'all? Because I don't think I can trust them in a 1-game scenario. I would love to. So let's think about it. Okay, do you trust them in a 1 game against the Warriors? Could they beat them? Yeah. But would you say, oh, we got this for sure? 1 game versus Suns? 1 game versus Kings? 1 game versus Dallas? Do you guys trust them? It's going to be tough to trust them, y'all. It's going to be real tough to trust them. Man, shout out to everyone over on Twitter, man. 75 people tuning in on Twitter right now. Shout out to you guys. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel like Twitter is starting to take off every night over there. Appreciate y'all, man. Drop a like on it, retweet it, drop a comment in there, man. You are greatly appreciated for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for everyone on YouTube as well. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Again, you guys are appreciated, man. Now, they could beat these teams in a 1 game scenario. I just don't have supreme confidence. Like, I'm not going into this saying, oh, yeah, we got it. It's a wrap. It's over. It's done. Like, it's not there. That confidence is not there. And I don't know if it will be the rest of the season. I just don't know if it will be. And they brought that on themselves. They have brought that on themselves. So even though this team is frustrating to watch, even though this team drives us crazy, even though this team gives us no reason to really believe in them, even though this team is driving us nuts, like I said, we're still going to watch. Still my team. I still love the Lakers. I'm still looking forward to the next game. I am. But at the end of the day, man, this ain't going to be fun if they continue to play like this. The season will be over before we know it. It'll be an off season where they make some moves. We'll think all is fixed. And next year's team will have to prove that they're different from the last 3 or 4 seasons. And that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Vegas Dev, what's up, my guy? Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being a member again. Free Mind, what's going on, man? If they are 9th, don't they go on the road in a plane? I believe it's, how does it work again? 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9, something like that. Is that how it works? Right? So if you're 9 or 10, you're on the road. See, people talk about need to see what Gabe can do. We need to see that, yeah. But okay, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 7 plays 8, 9 plays 10. Okay, so if you're 7, you're home, and then you're 9, you're home then. But yeah, man, frustrating night. We needed this win. It is what it is. Like I said, we got to go on to the next one. Ain't nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can do about it. But I'm tired, y'all. I'm gonna head out. Been a long day. Need to get some sleep. So thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank y'all for tuning into the baseball coverage. Thank y'all for tuning in on playback. Thank you for tuning in on post game. You guys are appreciated. Like I said, y'all could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Thank you for your continued support. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. So y'all have a good rest of your night. Y'all have a safe Thursday. Have a good rest of your week. Catch you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you, Search. Thank you. Appreciate everyone spending their time here. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all you over on Twitter, man. Hit us with a retweet. Y'all have a good one. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.